Hello and welcome back to the Jules with Gem podcast. I am your host GiGi and I hope you're well. If you're new, welcome. I'm honored to have you here. And if you're returning, I'm humbled to have you back. And to all my new subbies, welcome. You are the VIPs indeed. And thank you ever so much for the support. I hope you are enjoying all the festivities around this time. It is a Christmas Eve today. I hope you're excited for family time. And if you are working, by all means, get your coin, sis or bro. And thank you so much for stopping by. Oh, and by the way, my thumbnail is just me being my quirky, authentic self when nobody is looking. In case anybody wanted to understand, it's just me saying this for context, alright? So today I wanted us to talk about the Age of Aquarius. So I know a lot of people have been asking me and even themselves really what's up with the Age of Aquarius, what it means, its significance, and why it's even relevant to know about this age. So, your girl got you covered. Let's break it all the way down like we do right here on Jules with Gem. So first we have to start at the top. And I think the top would be, what is Aquarius? What is its energy and what is its role in the astrological realm? So I will briefly explain the sign of Aquarius. However, if you'd like a more in-depth explanation, do check out my previous videos on Uranus and Aquarius. So Aquarius basically is the 11th sign in the zodiac, and it's an air sign. Its symbol is the water bearer, which has had a lot of people really confused. And I think people are still confused even till this day, because I've seen even on my astrology groups on social media that people still consider Aquarius to be a water sign. And I think this is due to its symbol, as I mentioned prior, its symbol being the water bearer. And it's basically, it's understandable though where the confusion is coming from, because the symbol is depicted of a man pouring down water. But I think the water, in my opinion, is knowledge. I don't think it's necessarily, water as we know it. I think it's more symbol. It's symbolic of knowledge. I don't think it's really, actual water, but that's just, in my opinion. Do feel free to let me know what you actually think the water of the water bearer is actually symbolizing. So Aquarius energy receives knowledge, right, through various sources, and usually the information comes quite rapidly, and after the information has been received, it is then comprehended, then shared. So along with Gemini and Libra, which are also air signs, these are the communicators of the zodiac. So Aquarius is an extremely authentic energy. It doesn't want to be restricted. It doesn't want to conform to anything other than its own standards, okay? Which can really spell trouble, especially when it comes to, their personal relationships and even their professional relationships as well, because they maintain their stance on their opinions. They are always just gonna stand to what they believe in, like no matter what society says, no matter what people around them say. Of course, this can create some sort of conflict, but I think that's also what makes them so authentic as well. But it can be really challenging for Aquarians, and of course I'll definitely explain why, or rather I hope this whole breakdown will actually give you an understanding of why it's so hard to maintain personal and professional relationships in that regard. So these are the people that really they're always available to inspire change. However, it may be difficult or not as easily implemented into their own lives. Like they could tell people to, if they don't like the way they look, that they can change their appearance at any moment, at any time. They are free to kind of change who they are. They can literally wake up one day and just change the color of their hair, change their personality, change their name. You can virtually be inspired by an Aquarius to literally go balls off the walls and do a 360 degree, literally, because the change is like rapid, it's instant, it's literally a 360 change in direction. So somebody who was a hobo previously, who wins the lotto, obviously that is a drastic sort of, rapid change. That is like your life can literally change overnight. So it has an energy that isn't like an overnight change, like people that become successful overnight. It really has that type of energy. So these are the people that really inspire that type of change. Although they might not instigate it themselves, they might not implement it in their own lives, even if they really do need it. Okay, because these people or this specific sign is fixed air, and if we know anything about fixed energy, we know they are unmoving. They are not going anywhere. They are literally gonna just be there, which is kind of like an oxymoron, considering that air cannot be fixed. Like, air isn't fixed. It's fixed in the earth. It's fixed in the... I don't even know what to say. Air is fixed in what? Okay, air is fixed in the earth. Let me just put it that way, because obviously we don't need to propel air to be there. Air is just there and always there and constantly moving. It's just there, it just is. So when you wake up, you don't need to be like, okay, let me tell the air to come through so that I can breathe. It just is there, and it's not controlled by anything or anyone, which is actually the nature of Aquarian energy. So it's a bit of an oxymoron, considering it's fixed air, because air can't really be fixed, but it is fixed in that it will always be there. I don't know how much more I can emphasize that, or how much more I can say that, so that you can actually understand the energy. Then when it comes to Gemini, which is mutable air, it's mutual, so it's changing, it's fluid, it's adaptable. Then we talk about Libra, which is more which is cardinal air. So cardinal air is just kind of the person that just, it can be a bit indecisive. It can be a decisive sort of like energy, because air, it can go from one direction to the next. And for Libra, it just means that their actions can go from one point to the next. So that is kind of what gives it this indecisive quality. But if you do want to know about Gemini energy and Libra energy, do check out my videos on my channel with regards to that. So Uranus, in our chart, basically lets us know where we're just not afraid to be ourselves, where we share our quirks and our creativity without a shred of self-doubt. You can only imagine what that type of energy is going to mean for humanity as a whole. Okay, in my mind, for starters, people are going to stop sleeping on themselves and their talents. People are going to be way more expressive about their beliefs, their practices. Technology is going to influence finance, social interactions, media. Basically, everything is going to be different. And that is the exact energy of Aquarius. Different, authentic, original, odd, unusual. Just think about anything that you consider taboo, in the sense of it just being not something that you would expect. Expect the unexpected, basically. This is the energy of Uranus. This is the energy of Aquarius. Expect the unexpected. So, the Aquarian age is basically humanity saying, we are coming for everything you as society, or these social constructs that you have created, said we could not have. In the age of Pisces, the age of Pisces shaped a lot of belief systems, and to some extent it encouraged separation or segregation, or however you want to articulate that. But I think with the Aquarian age, it's more about, yes, you can still stay connected within your chosen belief system, but it's not going to encourage segregation. It's not going to encourage separation, because the energy of Aquarius is unison. The energy of Aquarius is unity. The energy of Aquarius is Ubuntu. The energy of Aquarius is togetherness, oneness. I don't know how much more I can emphasize this. I hope you are understanding what I'm trying to say. Please. So, like I said, it's more about staying connected to source, but without the segregation, finding the oneness in everything, so to speak. So technically, choose your own reality and live it out, as opposed to being told or blindly following the masses, which is something that Aquarian energy and Uranus energy absolutely repels. We are not going with the masses. We are going in the complete opposite direction if we have to. And I think that's where the fixed or the stubborn nature actually comes out with regards to the Aquarian nature. So the Age of Aquarius is basically stepping into reality, because all the things of this world which are just not accepted, which are just regarded as outcasts, are going to be something that is all of a sudden going to mesh within society. We are all of a sudden going to start realizing that actually we are not separate from each other. We are one, and we come from one source, which is divinity, which is, it could be whatever that means for you. But in this age, we are meant to embrace authenticity. We are meant to embrace uniqueness. We are supposed to embrace the fact that we are all unique, have superpowers and special abilities. So it won't be surprising to me, neither should it be to you, that Aquarian energy will bring a lot of truth. You will see a rise in truth tellers. This is kind of like the real reality. But I think in this age we will be exposed to the true natural, or the true, not natural, but the true nature of things around us. And it's unfortunate, that not everybody will be privy to this information, because not everybody's on the same ascension path. Some of us are taking much longer. Some people have already reached a certain level of ascension. They're now looking forward to the next level of ascension. So, our journeys are going to be different. And I want people to understand this, because it's you can't force anything on anyone. So if people cannot see what you see, it just means that you guys are not on the same page, and it's just best to kind of keep it moving, and not try and, I wouldn't even say waste your time, but waste energy on trying to persuade people to see things in your perspective. Like, it's just not fair, because we're all different. We're all influenced by our different planets, different signs, different, we have different energies, we grew up differently, so we can't really expect to see eye to eye on everything. So just allow people to kind of embrace what they want to embrace, and this Aquarian energy is definitely going to allow for that. But the bottom line is that we are gonna feel a sense of camaraderie, we're gonna feel a sense of ubuntu, we're gonna feel a sense of unity. A lot of things that that have happened in the past, we are going to start realizing that those are actually the things that kept us separate. Things like money, things like social standing, things like education, things like politics. We are all going to see the facts for what they are. And if you ask me, it's quite an exciting time to be alive. But I digress. So the Aquarian energy really makes everything bare. It's like Scorpio energy, except it's not so grotesque in nature, like it's not painful, it's not going to be emotionally draining or emotionally upsetting. It's going to be an energy of, it is what it is. It's not going to be emotionally driven at all. It's really gonna, like I said, it's gonna make everything bare, and it's gonna allow you the freedom to decide. Hence, I think they are the best signs when it comes to detaching from things emotionally. They kind of know how to put aside their personal feelings and be real about who they are, what they see, what they observe, what they feel, or even what they think. So we recently had the great conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter, and of course I'm gonna just explain what that means, because I'm bringing it in to give you further context as to where we're actually going for the next 20 years. It's about to be a jump. I swear, it's about to be a jump. So we had the great conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter, and conjunction just basically means they were aligned, they were in the same sign. So Saturn was in Aquarius and Jupiter was in Aquarius, so that would automatically make them conjunct because of that. And that happened in December 2020. So don't worry too much about not understanding what conjunctions mean. A conjunction is basically an aspect in astrology, and I will be speaking about aspects very soon. Actually, I'm prepping up for that video, so do expect it very soon. So don't despair. So the conjunction, of these planets meant that, in essence, the 21st of December was a shift in consciousness. So it was basically living from one state of reality to another state of a reality. So basically, you should have come to realize a change in your thought patterns, a change in your life, because as soon as you change your thinking process or your consciousness, or deciding to be very intentional with what you focus your energy on, that's when you really start seeing changes. Because remember, the mind is quite powerful. So when you shift your consciousness, that's when you can start realizing or being privy to some of the things that you were not privy to before, because you've shifted your consciousness. You're now focusing on things that may be beneficial to your energy instead of things that may decrease your energy or your vibration or even your frequency. So it's basically like, when I come to think of it, it's like, so here comes the visionary, which is Jupiter, and then you have the doer, which is Saturn, because Saturn, Capricorn energy is cardinal energy, in a conjunction in Aquarius. And mind you, these planets, Saturn and Jupiter, are known as the architects of our solar system, just due to the fact that Jupiter, is extremely intuitive and has endless wisdom. And then Saturn is quite practical and also has wisdom. But the most important thing here to realize is that it's able to make things last. Anyway, so this conjunction happens in Aquarius. So basically that means a new dawn, which is Jupiter energy, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is after the dark night of the soul energy of Scorpio. And then this new dawn will be implemented and built to last, because Saturn, but this new dawn, or this new structure, or this new consciousness will be different because of the Aquarius influence. So I hope that actually makes sense. So all of the structures and rules and regulations and everything else that was implemented years ago is now going to come to some sort of an end, a crumble, exciting times, like I said. So air, which is the element of Aquarius, is accepting things really as they are. We cannot change air, but we can manipulate it, but we can't change the fact that it's there. It will remain as it is, as it was, and will never change. And it also goes back to it being a fixed sign as always. There is just no changing air. So in the acceptance of the fact that we will be exposed to things that we weren't exposed to before, that's when our perception starts to change, and we start operating on the conscious of one. So now we start realizing that we are all interconnected. We're all here to express and cultivate an unconditional love of all things, even those things that are different to us, because we can all learn something from someone, or from anyone actually. So there's no such thing as normal when we are in this reality. What was normal in the previous age is going to be vastly different to what is going to be normal in this current reality. So especially in this particular one, because I feel like there's a rise of AI. Yes, there's technology, social media, we now have a multiverse, and there's just a whole bunch of things that are currently becoming part of our reality. So it's absolutely, oh my gosh guys, like, it's absolutely insane the things that are currently happening. I mean, Elon Musk, I saw a video on social media, and Elon Musk is actually coming up with a cell phone that is able to be connected anywhere, even on Mars, guys. So you guys can imagine the type of revolution that we are about to, that is about to be bestowed upon us, that is about to become our reality. So, like I said, exciting times. And, Aquarius also rules over all of these things: technology, artificial intelligence, social media. It rules all of these things. Basically, our interconnectedness, or how we connect with people, is ruled by Aquarius. So I cannot emphasize how major this is going to be for the next 20 odd years from now. So, like I said, the things we see in this current age are all part of the identity of Aquarius, because it's a very original energy. So, hence I was saying that it is the original reality, because we're going to, well, not the original reality in the sense that, it's we're going to find creative ways to problems. We're going to find creative solutions to problems, to complex problems, especially. I think that's the best way. To explain it. Aquarius cannot operate or under anything that is fake, which is also why they strive to be as authentic as possible, because they know it's in our human nature to want to be accepted as you are, as you naturally are, other than being coerced into, accepting who you pretend to be. So it's like, now, whatever power or control that they were trying to project onto people is pretty much gone. It's over, and the only power is the power that lies within the people. So people are going to start realizing that actually I can create my own reality. I don't need anybody to dictate to me what I need to accept and what I cannot accept. And I mean, that's already energy that's embedded in Aquarians naturally. So that is why I actually love Aquarians, because it's not that they don't even care, it's just that they don't care enough for the opinions of other people to change their opinions on anything, really. So just imagine, it's like an extreme strong sense of self, an extreme sense of self-understanding, self-awareness. And I've always said that, understanding self is the most important thing, because when you understand self, it makes it easier to understand everybody else around you, because you can start to see how you react to people. So when you know how you react to people, you're able to obviously transmute that energy into a more positive energy and start having more positive interactions with people. Okay, we're not talking about that, but I was just trying to give you more context, okay, so that we can be on the same page. But like, really, guys, I'm sure you guys can even I'm sure you guys can hear the excitement in my voice, that I'm just like, I'm so overwhelmed. Yes, number one, because it's about to get crazy, it's about to get weird, it's about to get but at the same time, I'm just like, I'm happy when people accept themselves as who they are. I'm happy when people stop pretending. I'm happy when people do not conform to social constructs. I'm happy when people be who they want to be. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even mean to mention Oprah, but like, Oprah is an Aquarius, and no matter what society has said, she and her partner have never been married. And they don't have any kids, and they live a pretty unconventional life. And that should just give you an idea of Aquarian energy. I don't know how many more examples I'm actually going to make about Aquarian energy for you to actually see how different this energy is, but I want you to understand it so that by the time it does start happening, or it's started happening, but by the time it's actually implemented in its full capacity, you would already know that, oh yeah, okay, we were kind of expecting this. I mean, this shouldn't even be a surprise, right? Because we're talking about it, So like I said, it's like the power or the control that they were trying to project on people is literally gone. The only power that remains really is money, of which that too is going to be crumbling soon. I think that's why there's a lot of movement from money being tangible to it being digital. I've also been seeing, I'm sure you have too, how people are now realizing different ways of making money. People are quitting their jobs, guys, and they're becoming who they know themselves to be. Like, if they knew, like, I've always been an actor, I'm gonna go act, guys. Like, I don't need a casting agency to tell me, okay, you are good enough, we are going to take you to go be in a series. No. People are now becoming more authentic. People are now becoming more driven to start realizing their own talents and their own abilities and their own skills, that they're not going to need anybody. So it's a complete independence from social constructs. Like, if you know you're good in acting, you don't need nobody to tell you you're good in acting. If you're a rapper, you don't need nobody to tell you you're good at rapping. You just start rapping and you put your stuff out there. It's really that simple. And whoever's gonna rock with you is gonna rock with you. And those that don't, oh well, we keep it moving still. Because even though people are not gonna be accepting of your energy or accepting of your creativity and the material that you put out there, does not mean you're gonna all of a sudden stop what you're rocking with. You can't, because it's your purpose. So I think a lot of it is going to be driven by understanding that this is my purpose, like this is what I want to do. So like I said, exciting times to be alive. Like we've seen a lot of people do make really drastic decisions. People are getting divorced, guys. Like, people that were in love a year ago are all of a sudden, realizing that, I know, man, I think, no, this is not working out, brother, sister, it's just not working. And people are just not willing to just accept no mayini anymore. People are not willing to just accept just anything. People are becoming very aware that they need to be very truthful with themselves. And if you have been living a lie, trust me, a lot of your world is going to start crumbling, and you're probably not going to understand why. But trust me, trust the process. That's the only thing you can do at this point, is to just trust the process. So a lot of people are becoming who they know themselves to be, because the structure, like I said, is changing. The structure that Jupiter in Aquarius and Saturn in Aquarius is creating is going to be different. You can even see the power of the age in people. I think also the consciousness within people is way different compared to what it was before. I mean, like 10 years ago, people weren't really, talking about being conscious, and people weren't becoming as loud as they are now about their beliefs, their practices. I mean, like, guys, it's getting wild. It's really getting wild. So, just expect different, expect the unexpected. And we've all heard people say this is the age of information, and information is also ruled by Uranus, also ruled by Aquarius, and really and truthfully it is. Like, information is literally at your fingertips. There is no information that is beyond our reach at this point. You literally sleep next to an information hub daily. It is at your fingertips, as I always say. I don't know if what I've said or anything that I have explained up until this point is at all exciting to you, but I am literally beaming, guys. I am so excited to see how we are going to start forging camaraderie, how we're going to start forging unity, how we're going to start forging communities, relationships, and start acting out of unconditional love. Like, oof, guys. Anyway, I'm really so passionate about this. I cannot even tell you guys. Like, it's really something that is in the depths of my soul, honestly. In the depths of my soul, but I digress. We are not talking about me. But I'm just so excited, and I think as I articulate and meditate on my thoughts of what I think this new age will bring, my imagination just wants to run wild. My brain literally just wants to explode, because I'm just like, yes, this is exactly what we need. So for those of you who do not honor intuition, who do not honor visionaries, or even the senses, that occur beyond the five senses, your time unfortunately has come to pass, and you're just going to be one of those people that are just not going to be privy to the information, privy to the growth, privy to the next reality that we're about to step in, or the next reality we are going to start living in. And it just is what it is. The Age of Aquarius bears gifts, and those that have been overlooked, those that have been mistreated, those that have been roaming the earth really with gifts that could help humanity will now be raised. I, for one, feel like this age is exactly what we need, honestly. For how long have we been conforming, to a world that is unjust, that paid no mind to shamans, that paid no mind to healers, that paid no mind to astrologers and healers alike? I mean, Oba Credo Mutwa, guys. We paid no mind to him, but we're only starting to pay mind to his words after his death. Like, we really should be ashamed of ourselves, myself included, and that is even why I said ourselves. But regardless of what anyone may say, I just believe that this is the time to be and explore our true, authentic selves, to remain on the course of harmony, camaraderie amongst humanity. A time for softness, a time for forgiveness, a time for love, a time for stepping into our true greatness and purpose, as well as an elevation towards our higher selves. And hey, that could mean anything for anyone, and it will definitely be without judgment, because the energy of Aquarius is not judgmental at all. So you could be anything you want to be. Whatever you perceive yourself to be, that is who you are. But it needs to be authentic. If it's not authentic, it will be washed. It'll be washed. And that's all I've got for you, my tubers. A reminder, tubers, to take what resonates and leave the rest. I always hope to bring clarity in the understanding or study of astrology, and I hope you have understood a little bit more about the age that we are currently in. It's definitely exciting times ahead. Until my next video, on that note, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What your thoughts on the Age of Aquarius is, and what you've seen so far. I'd really love to engage. Show me some love and subscribe to my channel if you'd like and feel I have brought value to your understanding of astrology. As always, your time spent is much appreciated. Till next time, you know what you do, so keep doing what you do. Love, peace, and most of all, light. I'm out.